Well, everybody, this is as real as it gets. I'm heading off to the hospital. I just had to call 911 for my brother. I mentioned in yesterday's vlog that he hasn't been doing well. He hasn't mentioned anything about hurting himself or hurting anybody else. He's just been very depressed and just upset. And this morning it got worse, but nothing to where he indicated that he wanted to hurt himself or hurt anybody else. And this is what really pisses me off, that the VA system has always been good here in our area, but today they failed my brother something miserably. I was on the phone for over 30 minutes trying to get him in to see somebody down there, and kept on getting sent to different places, sent to different cities, just to try to make an appointment for him to see his doctor today so he could get some help. While I was on the phone, my mother came in and told me that my brother was getting worse. He was very upset and crying and not acting right. And so I called 911 explaining the situation. The guy on the phone told me to make sure I have all of his medications ready when the paramedics get there. And my brother went and got them for me. I then discovered that 4 of the bottles were totally empty, and thus figuring out that he's trying to commit suicide. I called 911 back to let them know that the situation had changed. It is now a suicide attempt. And they got there very quickly. Actually, a police officer got there first. Very nice lady police officer. And he was, after a while, they were asking him questions. He was very confused. He couldn't remember how much he took of anything, or which ones he did take. And of course, my mom, it was very upsetting for her, and it is very upsetting to me. You know, I can handle things, but you know, I just hate to see people suffer. I hate to see people, especially folks that are veterans, no matter whether they've been in war or not, and the system failed them when I'm trying to get help for him and could not get anybody to answer at a VA. Are you freaking kidding me? So I'm off to the hospital and see how he's doing. And when I went into my brother's room just to make sure that there wasn't any other medications that he didn't bring out to us, and I found quite a bit more, none that with bottles are empty, but there was partial bottles, and then I found a suitcase that he had packed that had all of his clothes and had more medicine in it. So I don't know what the indication for that was. I know he had been mentioning that the past couple of days he hasn't been feeling well, and that he, like I said, he's paranoid to where he thinks that people are going to come and get him. So I don't know what that leads to be, but he never did say that he was going to hurt himself or hurt anybody else, or I would have called 911 a long time ago. Geez, and if I didn't feel bad enough with this cold that it's trying to latch onto, and then what's going on with my brother, I'm still headed off to the hospital, and there was a car wreck that I saw, and I'm always one to go out and help people, and you know, I drove by slowly and they seemed to be okay, but it just makes me upset that I couldn't stop and help those people to see if they are all right, because I have a family member that's in trouble right now. Well, it's been a very long day. My brother's doing okay, all things considering what went on. He's been Baker acted at least for 72 hours, could be longer, but he, like I said, he's doing as well as to be expected for what went on. And then my cold has just gotten even worse. I've slept quite a few hours after I got home from the hospital, and my throat is killing me, and my nose is just running like crazy. I feel like crap. So I'm going to go to bed. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in tomorrow's vlog.